Welcome to my channel. My name is Ayana and this is Teacher's Treehouse. In today's video, I want to share with you my top tech tools and websites for teaching elementary school online. This year, I am teaching 4th grade MSO, which is My School Online. I am completely online, starting my day at 8:30, my students starting their day at 9:30, and dismissing my students at 4:10. Easily, every day, they hang out till about 4:45 because they love me, and I love them too. Going to school online started off as a serious struggle, you guys. A whole big, huge mountain kind of learning curve for all included. But along the way, I have found some favorites and some really awesome, helpful online websites and tech tools that I would love to share with you. So these are in no particular order. All of them are becoming a favorite, and I use them usually on a daily, weekly basis. So let's get started. Okay, coming in number one is Seesaw. This is one of the places that I've been using, or websites that I've been using for a number of years now. And online, it is very versatile and very helpful. Right here, what you're looking at is just some math note taking that we did a few days ago. That's my handwriting. I take notes for them and I post it, and everyone can see it. So this is kind of like a place for us to put our anchor charts and to do some note taking together. I have it a little cut off here just to maintain my students' privacy, but this button here has a little light bulb and it says activities. This is where my students go to see their assignments each day. I can pin ones that we come back to often, or one I want that's easy for them to find right at the top. What's really cool about this is you can just kind of copy and paste documents and screenshots and things into Seesaw to create your own activities. Here's an example of a graphic organizer in which my students will copy and paste examples of text features into this booklet that I created for them. Well, actually, I didn't make this. This is a graphic organizer that was provided to me in our curriculum. We take notes together in math. They get these notes and then they can add on to them. Here's something I do as a daily. So each day I take screenshots of their classwork, their math textbook. So this page here would be something that in class they would have right in front of them doing paper pencil in their book. But online, it's not so easy to see everybody's work in the book. So I just take a screenshot and we write on top of it inside Seesaw. Extra bonus here, we can leave comments to each other. I can talk back and forth to my students and leave them feedback. They can type on top of templates that I create for them. And they can also make their own. This is just kind of a scroll. We've all been working on this together. And I leave some pages for them to continue the work. They don't always do it though, as we see. We don't always get to the end, but it's great practice. And I could just kind of flip through each person and check out how they're doing in their work. So Seesaw has lots and lots of benefits. Last thing I want to show you about Seesaw, there's a fantastic library here. Here's my personal library full of Seesaw activities that I have created this year. Over 199. Thank you. I like it. And you can also build a collection with your school and district. And then they have a huge community library that you can just kind of search by grade level and by subject. Let me hear you say woo woo. Okay, yes. I'm getting a little extra excited about Seesaw. But it's worth the excitement. So that's the number one that I wanted to show you. Take a quick scroll of our work. Hey, go us. Boom. Okay, coming in number two is TeacherMade. This is kind of similar to Seesaw, but I tend to use it for more private activities, things where I don't want them to share with their classmates. This one is a practice test in which they can highlight. We have a highlighter, they have a pencil here, they can use shapes. It works better when you're actually logged in. That's a bad example, but you see all the tools up there. The kids have many options here. They can also use a text box, change the size. They can use shapes to annotate any document that you put in here. So this one had 2 passages, a writing prompt, planning sheet, and then a space for them to write and type out their response to the writing here. So TeacherMade is a little similar to Seesaw, except there is no class journal where everyone can kind of look through each other's work. But this one I like. Okay, coming in number 3. A lot of you probably already know this one. Near to the Pod is awesome. Okay, it's just called Nearpod. Type this in, nearpod.com. My district has a limited version of Nearpod in which you can have, I think it's like 250 megabytes of lessons, which is not enough. So I did end up purchasing Nearpod for $100 using my teacher lead money this year. And this is an example of a lesson that you can create. Now I'm going to turn on me for this because I'm excited. I really want to talk to you about this Nearpod real quick. Now I'm going to do a more detailed video on Nearpod later, but here's the highlights about Nearpod. Number 1, you have 2 options that are very, very valuable with teaching online for how you want to control your lesson that's created in Nearpod. You can self-pace it, in which you can build this and then create a self-paced student Nearpod in which the kids can click through and complete it themselves at their own pace. You just need to upload it to them, send them a link, and boom, yeah, they're in there. Or you can do a live pace lesson in which you as a teacher can control the pace for each slide that you see me clicking through here. Now, the second most awesome thing about Nearpod is the versatility in one lesson. Right here, I just went from slide. Actually, there was a survey in the beginning that I skipped. Now we're at a website where my students would just click this here to open web page, and now they're in a safe browser with just the link to the website that I wanted them to go to. We can play the fluency, do whatever their exercise is there, and then when I click the next button, it disappears, y'all, and brings them back here to the next slide or activity that I have available for them. So we got videos, we got surveys and polls. This is fantastic for class meetings, self-pacing, because you can control each slide and you can put discussion questions. Sometimes I used to use it a lot for math, but now I'm using Seesaw more so for math because it's easier for on the spot note taking. But there's so much you can do with Nearpod, and if you are doing it live, you can still do it live participation and then later upload it and post it somewhere as a self-paced lesson for students who are maybe absent or need to review the lesson again or finish on their own time. Last thing about Nearpod, and then I'm moving on. Virtual field trips. Whoa. There is a huge library in Nearpod from other teachers, from Nearpod makers, whatever the company is. I guess they have a team of people who create lessons, but you can search 3D 360 places to embed into your lessons where kids can do virtual field trips, things like this, like mapping and it is awesome. Just check it out. Nearpod is on the list. Okay, the next one is kind of a combo of websites. I'm not even really sure if they're actually the same company, but when I think about them, I kind of use them in combination. The first one is Quizlet, and then the other is Quizizz. Now, they are very similar, but are different in quite unique ways. Quizlet is basically like flashcards, okay? If I were to be teaching my students with just note cards, you write the word on the front, and on the back you have an example or a definition, that's Quizlet, flashcards. It also has different modes for the students to study those flashcards. So they can use them just like flashcards. They can go to the learn option in which they can listen to it. It'll give them multiple choice. They have options down here to have it listen, have it speak to them. All of these options here, you can check those out with your students. And then if you go back again, you have matching, spelling. They can test themselves. They can write in their answers if they really think they're ready. And then matching. Quizizz is just like that setup with flashcards, except it's more like you play it in more of a game mode. So when your students go to one of these, like this is one we're working on right now. When I play this, let me check out the preview. They get like, you'll see. Let me just press start. You'll see what I mean. It's not quite flashcards in the same way, but it is. Okay, question, pick an answer. What's wrong? I didn't even read it, you guys. And then misclick. You see that? I get a me. Another question. I was so parched I drank the entire glass of water in one gulp. I was thirsty. Okay, I'm gonna actually do my work this time. Correct. I'm going up the ladder with 910 points. I didn't get a meme that time. Pete frowned. He was envious of his brother's new bicycle. He was jealous. I'm moving up the ladder. I still didn't get a meme. What is going on? Maybe if I get it wrong. Anyways, you get it. A little bit different. Oh no, I went down. Okay. So as the students play this one, you can have the same questions and the same type of information, like it's study mode. But in the middle of this somewhere, they get like funny memes and things to entertain themselves. That's Quizizz. Now, the reason I paired these two together is because I can upload like my content between the two. But what's even cooler, if you have an LMS system like Canvas, like I do, you can embed your Quizlet like practice right here into your module. So this is just an embed code, and they can change their study modes and all that goodness and practice right here without even leaving the LMS. Y'all, I'm really excited about this. Can you tell? Okay. And I put a trophy next to it to let my kids know that I'm extra excited about it. And I want them to practice for 10 minutes solid. It's right here. I love it. You can just practice right in here without even signing in anything. It's just fantastic. So that is Quizizz and Quizlet as a combo. Okay, so I'm really excited about this one. This is one of my most recent finds, and it has increased my motivation. I mean, my motivation and my students' motivation, like whoosh, skyrocket, like absolute, just fantastic. Fluency, test taking skills, review, just like fun. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough. My kids can't get enough. We are hooked on Blookit. So thank you, Blookit, for creating this. Whoever, yes, thank you. Just like really excited about. Here's my favorites library. You have, when you sign up for Blookit, number one is free. If you choose to pay for it, which I did after like a day of trying it out, it's very cheap. You can pay by the month, or you can pay like by the whole year. Not a commercial, y'all. I'm just saying it's cheap for what you're about to see here. My dashboard, you can search in Discover and use a Blookit that's already created. Or in my dashboard, you have your sets that are yours, and you can create your own, which is also your button right up here. Making your own. Here's a few that I've made myself or that I've edited and added on to from ones that I found in the Discover. This is one we're currently working on, and it's kind of a big one. I have 31 questions in this game here, but it connects to my reading standards, which is studying text structure and text features at the moment. So what I did was I kind of condensed the quizzes. I broke apart the quizzes that we would usually take 20 questions at the end of a few weeks. I broke that apart, and I just put it as single questions into this Blookit. So here is an example. It says Arnold forgot his umbrella at home. On his way home it rained and he got wet. Arnold forgetting his umbrella is an example of what? Cause and effect. Which one? Okay. Very simple warm-up kind of question. This is number one. I kind of amp it up as they go through each one. It gets a little bit more hard, and then we throw in some math. We get some rounding, we get some division. Now this one is an overall 4th grade review type of Blookit. But I put 31 questions in here, this being the long one. A short passage in which they explain which point of view is this passage narrated. Now, the view you're seeing right now is the teacher view. Let's talk about the good part. Here's the great part. Here's the great part. Okay, relax. Here's how this works. When you're ready to share with your students after creating questions, you hit host and then you choose a game mode. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of these game modes here. Pretty cool. This one is probably the most familiar. It runs kind of like a Kahoot. So imagine Kahoot, but just amped up with different game like options. This is one of my kids' favorites, in which they get to run a crazy kingdom. So it shows them the questions. If they get it correct, they get to like answer a silly question from someone in the crazy kingdom. You assign it as a homework. Set some things here, hit assign now, and you get a link to share with your students. They get right in there, they play, and they have a great time. What's even cooler is you can see in live real time their progress, success, failures, all of it. It's a beautiful thing. I highly, highly, highly recommend Blookit for anyone teaching online, because the kids love this cuteness. I love it. It is so much fun, and it's really, really versatile. The game modes are just, there's nothing better at the moment. And fluency, wow, my kids beg for this. Getting close to the end of my list for now. Of course, my LMS Canvas. I wouldn't be organized without it, let me tell you. Now, I came up with a much more streamlined way of using Canvas for my elementary students. We have a huge dashboard in which all of our subjects are separated like you see here. Ignore that long list of things I didn't grade yet. Stay focused over here. My kids have many subjects to go through. Okay? And we started quarter one, me trying to tell them, go to language arts, find this module, go here, find this assignment, blah, 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 get started. Too many clickings. Too many things to click. But Canvas, once you learn some of the, once you learn how to use it, it's very, very easy to organize and pre-plan my day. So I started using only my homeroom course and putting everything that my students need to interact with into my homeroom modules. For them, the student view looks a lot simpler than this. This is my teacher view. So for them, this was our day-to-day. They have access to announcements, modules, discussions, their grades, their class notebook, and of course their Office 365. But here's kind of what their day looks like when they come in. This is a fully published module that we did already today. But they see it one at a time as I publish it. They mark it as done, or they submit the assignment. And for each one, it's either an embedded activity like Quizlet. Oh my gosh. They can easily click next. I'm so excited about that. That is just lovely. And I also link them straight to their Seesaw, which is fantastic. Seesaw doesn't quite have an embed feature, but you can get a link activity specifically for one activity, just like I did here. And then it'll take your students right to that one activity, and all they have to do is hit add response. So what's really cool about Canvas, and what I really appreciate, is how easy it is to build pages and organize the activities that I need to get to my students each day. So this is actually, take advantage of it. Headers too, because this is my schedule as well. Last but not least, wait, no, not the last one. I got two more, almost at the end, two more. So I'm going to go ahead and state the obvious one. Zoom. Yeah. Zoom. I need to see my students. I love seeing their faces. I love breakout rooms. I love the mute button. I love the mute all button. I love the button that says do not, like the uncheck ability of allow students to unmute when I'm giving directions. I love the automatic send to breakout rooms. I love creating a peace pocket for my students who want to work independently. I love the announcements where you can send announcements to your breakout room. Oh my goodness. Zoom works when you figure it out and your internet is stable and your students turn on their camera and their microphones. Last thing that has been just like on my mind and I'm absolutely loving is Classcraft. This, number one, is a choice I made purely for creating my classroom culture online and building motivation. My students are highly invested in this. Highly invested. As you can see, these are their characters. They upgrade them and change their uniforms on a daily. They also train these cute little pets here that you see standing next to them. Like, look at these kids. They love gaming. This is now basically our classroom. It's a hub where we keep our directions. We show off our classwork. They give each other compliments. They earn XP. Ooh, hey me. I didn't mean to do that. They earn XP, gold for doing their classwork, and basically this is just where I put more directions and links and videos and things like that. I am a LATIC teacher, in which that means learner active technology infused classroom instruction. So I kind of give my students a lot of differentiation and a lot of options for how they want to learn something. And this works out beautifully for it, because as I create quests, my students don't see all this, by the way. That's not what it looks like for them. Matter of fact, let me show you what it looks like for them. This is the student view of Classcraft. Okay, this is my example student. Let me just get this right. Hold up. Let's go. Purely choosing this for engagement and classroom community. All of my students play video games. Whether they're like a gamer or not, doesn't matter. They have all invested into this being kind of like our classroom virtually. They all get to create a character. This is my character here, and this is my pet actually that's going on a training mission. So let me just move that out of the way. This is my character, and as we're doing our classwork, the students earn XP, AP, and gold for completing classwork, participating with their cameras, voices, whatever we are doing throughout the day, sort of like dojo. And I award them XP, gold, or as a reward throughout the day. With those things, they get to dress up their character, they get to train their little pets back here, and they also get to incur skill points in which they can learn like powers. So this one here, their teammate gains 10 HP. This character is a healer. So I'm going to heal Haley. And as they are doing their work, they're earning things to keep making their character look cool and go on different quests. Right now, this is what their map looks like, which is basically where they see their activities list for the day. So in combination to Canvas, my LMS, I send them here for ELA. They go into their map and they just kind of follow the map and do their classwork. They do a cute little story, or sometimes it takes them straight to classwork, which they're like, Ms.Shrimali, you spammed me. But they still love it. They do their classwork, they hit continue, they turn in whatever it is that I'm asking for, and it moves them on with a reward, if done well, mind you, to the next location. And just look at how cute this is. Look at how cute. You've never seen directions look better, right? Classcraft, you're genius! Hire me, please! Actually, no, because I'm really enjoying doing this with my students. So hire me later, please. Oh, wait, I wanted to show you one more thing about this. This is where the classroom community really, like, tops the notch right here, okay? Kudos. Like, in the classroom, I used to give my students sticky notes, and they could write each other, sticky notes and put on our brag wall. We used to do brag tags. We used to write on our window. We used to send each other, compliments in morning circle, which we still do via Zoom. We do those things, but this is like, we can all do this. And students are incentivized to give each other kudos because they earn like a little XP, experience is what that represents. And they also get a XP, or they get coins if someone gives them a kudo. So I mean, it's really cool, and they're sweet kids about it. We've talked about giving specific kudos. I'm not gonna go on a whole tangent about Classcraft because that's a whole nother video. So I think I'm done. Thank you for joining me on this video today. I am very much enjoying being an online teacher in elementary school. I hope that some of you who are doing online every day, all day like I am, that you are having a great experience as well, and you have some time to check out some of these tools that I introduced you to today, maybe not introduced you to, but maybe just gave you a little bit of extra info on. Blookit being like, yeah, this is probably in order. I'm gonna say Blookit is number 1 on the list right now. So I will see you guys on another video. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you're using. You got anything that needs to be on the list? Any of these you want to hear more about? And hopefully I will see you again soon. Peace out.